Hey there, United States of America. We are coming from you from Mind and Body Solutions Studios. We call it episode
Is it
10,
10?
baby.
Wow.
Episode 10. We are having fun. We got the whiteboard and we got our cool label back here, Mind and Body Solutions. Yeah, it's kind of like being in a television studio.
It's kind of neat, huh?
Yeah. Anyways, but TJ Weaver, Dr. Serge, the man, the cool guy. We're talking functional medicine here, baby. And we're going to talk about a few different things today. We're still in the coronavirus pandemic right now.
Yes, we are.
And which is very tough on a lot of people. A lot of people have lost their jobs. And it's been a scary time for a lot of people.
It's been a lot of stress for a lot of people.
A lot of people. You've been pretty busy, though, huh?
We've been pretty busy, which is good for us, for functional medicine, right? People want to get better now.
They want to get better now. Hey,
So,
what about that?
Which brings me to our topic of the day.
Topic of the day is...
So I wanted to continue talking about the immune system.
the immune system. We talked about it last week.
We did talk about
We
it.
did our triangle on the board, and you talked a little bit about
Yeah.
the
So let's-
immune and the adrenaline.
Correct,
right?
adrenals, the gut. So let's recap that. So let's go over what we talked about the last few episodes, and then we're gonna add on top of it, because
Good.
a lot of people ask us, what do we do for prevention?
Right. What do we do prevention?
Okay, for this virus or whatever.
We got the virus
So
out,
We
and
want to make sure that the body is healthy.
if we got a good immune system,
You should be okay.
let's say before you start drawing on the board, I've always wondered this question. Maybe you have too. Let's say the coronavirus is right there next to me. I walk into some store and it's on the shelf, whatever.
Yeah.
But my immune system, because I've been coming in on your program, which I have been for the last 5-6 months, and my immune system is kicking butt.
Yes.
With a good immune system, do I have my guard up?
You're good. You shouldn't be worried. You should be concerned.
So I'm duking it out, saying,
You-
nope,
you
coronavirus, you stay over there. I'm good.
If you're exposed to it for some reason,
It's right here in front of me.
no, your body will fight it, will get rid of it, no problem. You won't feel anything.
That's what I'm talking
And that's
about.
what a lot of people now realize, that a lot of people have been exposed to it and they didn't have any symptoms. Why?
Right.
Because the body fought it off.
And plus, you had on that live thing that you did yesterday, there's a lot of false reads.
There's a false reads.
I mean,
That's what we talked about last night. Up to 80% of people who were diagnosed with the virus actually didn't have it.
So literally, they're being told that they're positive,
Yeah.
that they have been diagnosed with the coronavirus.
Correct.
They're not showing any symptoms at all. It's a very good possibility that they probably don't have it anyways. It was just a false reading.
Correct.
And the test that they're giving, like you said in your Facebook Live yesterday, they're not foolproof.
They are not foolproof at all. Like I said, it's 80% of error. So 20% of people actually have the virus.
So you're saying that 80% of the tests that are being given out there are...
Let's say there's 100 people who have the virus. 80
Right.
people won't have it, don't have it.
Right, they're tested positive.
But because of the
The quality of the test is
It's
not foolproof. It's foolproof. So
not
I mean,
foolproof.
right. So you don't really have it.
You don't really have
You don't
it.
show any symptoms whatsoever. I think it was like Tom Hanks and his wife. You know, his wife was coughing and everything, and Tom didn't show barely any
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Correct.
You
Correct.
know?
That's what I'm saying is, if you have a good immune system, you're exposed to it, you
Who
fight
cares?
it, who cares? You're fine.
Right.
That's what I tell people. Don't
Right.
stress about it. We talked about stress last week, right? So I'm going to talk a little bit more
Quit
about
being
stress
so
today.
fearful.
Correct.
Right.
Because the stress will deplete or lower your body's ability to fight the virus.
So here's a great question for you. Now you treat. You probably our Rolodex has got 4,000, 5,000 people that follow Dr. Serge in Mind and Body Solutions. I don't think one of your patients has come up positive with the coronavirus.
None of them so far. We have hundreds of
Hello.
people, and none of them
Gee,
get
I
the
wonder
virus.
why.
I don't know. What do you think? I mean, of
Maybe
course,
because you everything that you're doing, the supplements, that you have a strong immune system here,
Don't
ladies
get me
and
wrong.
gentlemen.
So some people sometimes get the flu or cold. That's part of life, right?
Yes.
That's what it is. That's just what that's what happens when you live on this planet, right? We have stress. Sometimes we have some bad choices that we have, right?
Right.
So one day you're busy, you eat something you shouldn't, and now you're more exposed to the virus.
They say today I read 50,000 up to 50,000 deaths now from it in
Yeah.
the United States.
Yeah.
Now that's not even a percentage of 300 million.
No,
We're up to
correct.
350 million people that live in the United States.
Correct,
Whatever.
correct.
50,000 people. I mean, there's probably been more than 50,000 people that have died in car wrecks.
It's sad, don't get me wrong, it's sad
Of course.
to hear this, but it's more or less the same amount of people who die from the flu.
From the flu.
You know, it's more or less the same. That's what people
Right.
start to see now. It's the same type of people who die from the flu, people who are sick,
Yeah.
people who don't have a strong immune system, people who are taking
Right.
medications, you know,
Right,
they're
right.
just older.
And of course, our
Uh,
media, and we've had this discussion already, our media will scare the living crap out of you.
Oh, yeah, they still do.
I mean, literally every text and email that I get that is notified to my phone every day is something about the coronavirus, something about somebody dying.
Yes.
It's never anything positive news. It's always about how
which,
bad it is.
which add more stress to people's life.
Oh my gosh.
It's unbelievable.
You-
People are sick of this now.
I mean,
It's getting old and people want to get out.
right.
Go back to
Immune
their life.
system. What about stress? I mean, that's why you've covered such great topics.
Yeah. So let's go into that
Let's
right
talk
now.
about it.
Let's cover why we talk, the stress, the immune system.
Cool.
A few weeks ago, we talked about the immune system, right? There's two parts, right?
Mhm.
We talk about these two different components, right? And I said that these two parts talk to each other,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And then we talk about the gut at the
The
bottom,
gut.
right?
That's right.
And the gut, of course, talks to these two components. And that's what I said in this gut, that we need to make sure that we eat, fuel your body with good quality foods.
Good quality foods.
Organic, fresh,
Yeah.
no sugar, no
Which
wheat, and so on.
I believe, and we had this discussion yesterday, I don't think we can do it. I don't think Americans are disciplined enough to go find perfect foods. That's why I believe you got to get on the supplements.
You have 2 points there, I guess.
That's what I believe.
I think there's 2 points there. One is some people will do it because they are sick and tired to be sick.
Yeah, I guess it probably depends on how sick they are.
Yes, I mean the people that we have in the office, they are at the end road, right? They are so
Right.
sick, they want to get better, so they do it. And you're right, even though you may eat organic food, the quality of the food
How
is
do
not
you
as
know the
good.
organic food is right?
You don't
Right.
know, and that's why taking some supplements, I think it's the foundation of health.
Yeah, the supplements to me is the only way to do it.
It's the only way to do it.
Food in pill form is what we're
Correct.
talking about here.
And let me get back to this question
go
in a
ahead.
few minutes.
Okay, so we
So
got the
that's why I
gut,
said
we got our
the
two
gut,
components.
The two components, and as you may remember, part of the gut, I said sugar is the enemy.
Enemy.
So every time you eat sugar, it lowers your immune system in your
system.
gut
That's
for
right.
hours, days, and sometimes weeks.
So you're trying to literally repair from that by eating
Correct,
crap.
correct,
Yeah, the food.
okay.
Yeah.
And then last week we talked about the brain.
Le brain.
Right?
The brain.
I like your French
Le
there.
brain. Of course, that's more of an Italian thing.
So we talk about the brain, and then we talk about the two small adrenals, right? That the brain talks to them. When you're stressed, your brain senses the stress, which leads to the adrenals to pump more stress hormone in your blood,
Ooh.
which affects your immune system, right? It lowers your
Right.
body's ability
Now,
to fight viruses.
Again, what are these two components? What were those?
The adaptive and the innate. So
Okay.
it's two different parts of your immune system.
Okay.
The antibodies and the white blood cells.
Okay, I got you.
Okay, so we have antibodies that
Mhm.
fight viruses and bacteria, and they have the white blood cells.
Right.
That every time you do some blood work, for example, they look
Right.
at how much
They
white
look
blood
to see
cells.
what kind of white blood cells,
Correct.
what your count is,
Correct, to
to
make sure
see
you're good.
if you're being able to combat
Exactly.
viruses and bacteria and different things.
Correct.
Pollutions that we're involved in every day.
Exactly, which I'm going to get back to that.
Yeah.
So the stress is known to lower these two components. So every time you're stressed, you just cannot fight at 100% viruses and bacteria.
Wow.
That's why watching the news and listening to news all the time, it lowers the immune system. You get stuck in that vicious cycle, right?
You don't watch the news, do you?
I do not. I don't watch
Do
the
you
news.
even have a television at home?
I don't have a TV at home.
You got a TV in your office?
I do to watch.
Yeah, but it's a DVD that's
Yes,
running on a
correct.
loop. So
So TV for me is a waste. I'd rather read books, educate myself.
Yeah,
There's
well,
so much to learn, you
you're
know.
a doctor. You're a doctor.
No time for that.
No, you got no time for that entertainment.
No, I don't.
I tried to talk to him about the Tiger King on Netflix. He went, "What's Netflix?"
What's that? What the heck is that? So let's talk about the next component of this whole picture.
Gut, brain, white blood
Adrenals,
cells,
white blood cell
adrenals.
antibodies.
Right. Okay.
And then the next two components, I should say, one is your thyroid,
Ooh,
okay?
Nice.
Which I'm going to draw like this,
thyroid.
Okay.
Yes.
which talks to the adrenals.
Okay.
Okay, let me recap that. Let me rephrase that. So when you have stress in your body, like I explained, like we talked about last week,
Okay.
you have stress hormones in your blood, right? You have
Mhm.
this adrenaline that kicks in, and that's why you have this fight or flight reaction, right? Either you fight or you run away.
Or you run away. You,
Okay.
you brought up the tiger.
Correct, exactly. that's
Right.
why-
And you and me were running, right?
Oh, I would.
Yeah, me
If I
too.
see a tiger. So what happens is when you have stress hormones in your body is it shuts down your
The
thyroid.
thyroid.
Okay.
Okay.
So your thyroid makes two things, right? It makes T4 and T3.
T3 and T4.
People who are diagnosed with hypothyroidism, like a
Hypothyroid.
low metabolism, they lack T4 and T3.
So, not going off too much off topic, but let's say, like my father was diagnosed with a slow thyroid.
Correct.
He takes a bandaid for it on a daily
Takes
basis.
some medication.
If he came in here and got the nutrition,
He won't need that.
he wouldn't need that.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
He will.
It's coming.
I know.
I
have
promise
faith.
you. We talk about it all the time, but he's close. Pop.
So what people take as a band-aid, like you said, it's a medication, right? It typically is T4. You take T4 because your thyroid is not making the T4, so
Okay.
you take it.
Okay.
So it hides or masks the problems, right?
Okay.
So the reason that why your thyroid is not making the T4, there's a few reasons. One is the stress hormone deactivates the thyroid, depletes, suppresses the
Whoa.
thyroid. When that happens, your thyroid goes low and doesn't make the T4. And doctors, when you check your blood work, man, your T4 is low. Let's give you some
Let's
T4.
give you some Band-Aid. You know what blows my mind? It literally just off of your thoughts literally screws up your whole body.
everything.
Your thoughts.
everything.
Let's say you're dealing with
Yes.
a family member who's chronically ill or dying or something really traumatic.
Yes.
Can literally throw your whole insides off.
Oh, I see that all the time.
Unbelievable.
All the time.
Just from your thought pattern.
Yes. Because the thought can create some stress in your
Causes
body.
stress. It makes you anxious with your
Correct.
adrenalines.
Correct.
Now all of a sudden your thyroid's all messed up
It's all a whack.
because you can't get your brain right.
Correct. Correct.
Wow. And it's
Crazy,
just
huh?
off of what you're thinking.
Crazy. So what happened is this stress hormone shut down this thyroid. So your body is not making T4 and T3. T3 is the guy that boosts your immune system.
Okay.
So when your stress hormone is high, your body is not making this, and this is not talking to the immune system. So your immune system is turned off.
Your white blood cells are
The white
messed
blood
up.
cell, antibody is not there, so your body is not able to fight.
And what was this in again? We talked white blood
White
cells
blood cell and
and
antibodies.
antibodies.
Okay, so maybe I should write it down, but that's okay.
Does that have something to do with
Okay.
antibiotics? Antibodies?
No, not at all.
Okay, all right,
This is
sorry.
another story,
All right,
so we
we'll
can
leave
talk
that
about
alone.
that later.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
but that's a good point. So, and there's a few factors that leads to this depletion. We talk about the stress hormone,
Okay.
right?
Yeah,
that
yeah.
can lead to that. Sugar.
Ha-ha.
Let's go back to sugar, man. Sugar would deplete this.
At least you got.
It does that, for example, by depleting zinc. Okay, if when you eat sugar,
Mm-hmm.
you have zinc deficiency,
Okay.
and zinc is needed for your thyroid, for example.
Okay.
So if you don't have zinc, you cannot make T4, T3.
So staying on that same subject, sometimes when I feel something coming on, like a cold or anything,
Yes.
which I haven't had in a very, very long time now that I've been coming here to Mind and Body
Wonder
Solutions.
why?
Okay, but what I'll say is there's a over-the-counter supplement or over-the-counter medicine or whatever. and it's zinc,
Yes.
and it's on a Q-tip, and you put it up your nose, and
Yeah.
and it's supposed to kill the cold before the cold gets there. Now, if you have the cold already, you're kind of much got to go through it.
Yeah.
But it's
Because zinc,
Zicam.
yeah.
Yes,
Zinc is a natural antiviral and antibacterial, so
Right.
it kills viruses and pathogens. Zinc, today we talk a lot about zinc because zinc is known now. We know that it can kill the coronavirus. So we hear a lot more talking about zinc. Okay, zinc is important for many different functions of the body. It helps with these two components. It
Right.
helps your gut, it helps your brain, it helps your thyroid. It
What
helps your
about
adrenals.
oxygen?
Oxygen is part of the whole picture as well, right? If you don't have enough oxygen in your blood, which gets back to the thyroid,
Right.
you don't have enough nutrition getting to the tissues.
Right.
Okay.
Because I know nothing can live oxygen. Nothing can live in oxygen, right? Cancer,
Right.
viruses, bacteria.
Correct. Correct.
You know, is
Correct.
why people get in those hyperbaric chambers and
Correct.
stuff like that. Is
That
that why they're
helps with
doing that?
cancer. It helps with healing the
Right.
body.
I've seen boxers do it when they're training to go do a bout. They
exactly.
they sleep in these
Yeah.
oxygen.
Because it boosts the body. It helps all these different systems.
Wow.
It's amazing. This is another topic.
Another
actually.
topic, yeah.
So sugar, right?
Sugar.
Talk about stress. Wheat is a known food. Gluten is a known
Gluten.
food that will attack your thyroid.
Man.
And then the last component I wanted to talk about is toxins. I've mentioned before, I say that all the time, is that we are exposed to thousands of toxins
Every day in our water, in our air, it's just
It's crazy. We are toxic.
Yeah.
I mean, newborn babies today are born with 250 toxins.
poor baby.
D0, they are toxic.
Unbelievable.
Some of these toxins, like chlorine, fluoride from water, will kill the thyroid.
Unbelievable.
Okay, and it does that by preventing iodine to get into thyroid. We know that iodine is required for a good thyroid function.
I take iodine.
Most people need iodine at some point
Yeah.
because we've been exposed to chlorine, fluoride, and BPA and pesticides
Yes.
and different toxins. So what we need to do is we need to detox the body, right? Remove the toxins and give you iodine so your body can start making T4 and T3.
Wow.
Every time I do that with somebody, they don't need the medications at some point.
That's amazing. Now, he tests for thyroid. He tests your thyroid here. He does a nutrition response test.
Yep.
Won't get into that, but it's the way that he can basically look at the inside of your body without looking at the inside of your body.
Yeah, we cover that in a few minutes.
Yeah.
So it happened again this week. I have this patient that she didn't need her thyroid medication anymore because we got this back to normal. And people believe that because you are on medication, you are stuck with this for life. That's not true.
Not here. Not
you
here,
can
baby.
Fix it.
You know what's that makes the hair on my arms and the neck stand up when I hear someone doesn't have to take their medication anymore on something that's wrong with them, that a regular medical doctor is giving them a prescription, which you and I call Band-Aids. It's just a Band-Aid to make you feel better right away, that kind of thing. But it doesn't fix the problem. It doesn't fix the problem. It just puts the Band-Aid over the wound, and that's it.
Correct.
And then when I hear, and I walk through here, and I go in the back, and I'll run into somebody, and I'll talk to them real quick and say, well, what was wrong with you? And they'll say, well, I had this thyroid problem. And I said, and how long have you been seeing Dr. Serge? And I've been seeing him for whatever, 6 months, year, 2 years. I said, are you taking your thyroid medicine anymore? Nope. Hadn't taken. My thyroid's back to normal. Everything's rocking and rolling. And
It happens all the time with thyroid medication, with BP medication, with pain medication, with all medications.
Parkinson's,
Parkinson's medications, RA medication, inflammation, diabetes, all those conditions.
He's fixing it, guys.
Can be fixed.
It's being fixed. Your body is healing itself by taking the supplements that he gives you, a cocktail of supplements, specifically for your body. It's not right for everybody. I got friends in Vegas and where my earlier career that I'll call and talk to them about all of this stuff that we're doing.
Yep.
And they'll say, well, where can I get some of the medicine? Not medicine. Can I get some of the supplements you take? I said, you can, but it's not going to help you. You got to go in and see him. You got to go see a doctor. You need to go see a nutritionist or Now, just let me back up because just because your specialty in doctor in functional medicine, and your nutritionist and herbalist, and just because someone says they have their certifications or license as a nutritionist, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're doing nutrition response testing, is it?
No. Nutrition response testing is a tool on top of my degrees and certifications
Right.
for me to be more specific with my patients.
Right. Which is another way of like taking your blood without taking your blood, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.